Because I've been talking to a few Muslims lately, my position on Zionism was repeatedly um, raised. So while I was on the stream of the Muslim apologist, there were people in the chat saying that I'm a Zionist. I don't see a problem with that because I'm just saying that Jews have the right to live in Israel because it says so in the Quran. Chapter 17, verse 104 says that, obviously with conditions. I don't think they have the right to live there as liberal Democrats with their gay parades. So if you take that verse and all the other verses into account, it seems to me that the Quran is saying the children of Israel have the right to live in Israel, but with Gentiles. And isn't this Zionist? I think that's Zionist because it's the idea that Jews have the right to their homeland, and of course the real problem is how they're going to live. The Jews don't want to be living next to Arabs, and in fact the secular Jews don't want to be living next to the religious Jews, and vice versa. So some sort of modus vivendi needs to be agreed to. And I was repeatedly asked about my position on the Palestinians, and I said I don't particularly want to discuss them. And it's obviously a territorial dispute, and the anti-Semitism it causes is obviously going to be seized on by people who don't really care about Muslims or Palestinians, but who hate Jews so much that they will be using every opportunity to criticize Jews and do it by throwing the corpses of Palestinians at Israelis. And I guess this is going to continue until the Jews give up liberal democracy. And I'm saying it won't be that long now. Because today, Sidney Blumenthal came, he didn't come over, but he did talk to a BBC journalist on The World at One, and his tone, of course he didn't really say he was going to cancel the Republican Party, but the way he talked about it suggested that the Republican Party are soon going to be cancelled if he could have his way. And obviously this is, I think it's going to be this year when liberal democracy ends, and the Jews in Israel are pretty fed up with it, and well, so are we in the West, in Europe and America, and we want a new modus vivendi, all of us, not just the Israelis against each other, but all of us. And I'm saying secular Quranism is the answer, and I just want people to discuss it more widely. I mean, why can't they? What is their problem? It's not like they have, a better idea. So I think I'm getting closer because I am familiar with the networks of connection on issues and power structure. And I do understand that people will be, what's the right word? Outraged, aghast, indignant that I should be telling um, all these ancient religious groups what to do, as well as, hegemons and governments. But I just want to test my idea to destruction. I mean, I don't think anybody has a better idea than me. I do, look around. I do, listen to what's available, and I don't think anyone has such a comprehensive solution to all the problems of the world. And all I'm all I'm asking is for serious questions to be asked, not dumb ones by people who obviously don't get what I'm saying, or have decided to hate me because they think I'm a Zionist, or hate me because they think I'm a Nazi, or hate me because they think I'm Muslim, or hate me because they think I'm a liberal. I just hope that I will soon get proper questions from people who are public intellectuals. I mean, it's not like they have anything much going on. Yes, I understand that the BBC and mainstream media are pretty rigged, but I think bigger YouTubers can rise to the occasion, can't they? It's very curious how they sort of half listen and seem to get it and then forget about it. It's positively neurotic. And that, I think, is also the problem with Western man. He is in denial and, well, clearly neurotic, if not psychotic. He's not in his right mind. He can't think straight. And he can't think straight because I was going to say his moral system, but he hasn't got one. He hasn't got an official moral system, so he can't really predict outcomes because he hasn't got a hierarchy. He doesn't have a hierarchy with an unquestionable chain of command. And this is very dangerous indeed because it stops decisions from being made. It stops information from being conveyed. The West is the best, says Federico Vasconcelos. It's a subjective view, isn't it? Possibly Westerners might think that, but there are lots of self-hating Westerners and non-Westerners who disagree. But this is not a time to display chauvinism and racism when you have been brought so low. But to round up, my position on Zionism is nuanced. I am citing chapter 17, verse 104 of the Quran to say that Jews have a right to their homeland, but they have to live in it as a theocracy, and the theocracy light that I propose is obviously secular Quranism, because secular Quranism is Islam light, and you don't have to be Muslim to adopt it. And this is something I would also like Jews and Muslims in particular to discuss. Thank you for your attention.